Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Almost into the weekend here, so that's always nice. So, did you get enough sleep last night? Or do you normally get enough sleep at night? According to statistics, about less than 25% of North Americans actually get the proper amount of sleep every night. And I'm totally guilty of not getting enough sleep every night. I'm completely sleep deprived, and it's because I'm not disciplined enough to get myself to bed early enough. So I thought I'd look into some of the things that can happen when you're sleep deprived, and I would share that with you because I'm sure I am not alone in not getting enough sleep at night. So most of us, when we're getting up in the morning, we don't exactly feel energized and refreshed and ready to go. Most of us probably feel more kind of sluggish and low energy, and we reach for that cup of coffee to try to wake ourselves up and get ourselves going. And unfortunately, that's kind of become the norm for our lifestyle. So that, and which is too bad. We're missing out on a lot of sleep, and I don't think people realize the consequences of that. Centuries ago, most people would get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night, and part of this is because there weren't any such thing as 24-hour restaurants or fitness centers or department stores or anything like that. They didn't have things that they could do 24 hours a day. When it got dark, it was time to go to sleep. And also what happens is when it gets dark, our bodies naturally produce melatonin, which is the hormone that makes us feel sleepy, but it's in response to darkness. So now in this day and age, when we've got our computers, our TVs, our smartphones, lights, so all of these things producing light after it's gotten dark disrupts our production of melatonin. So we end up not getting to bed when we should be. We should be going to bed when it gets dark. So because of the technology we have, that's probably not going to happen, but we can at least make an effort to get to bed a little bit earlier so we get more sleep. So it can be tough. Like we work long hours. We have seemingly endless responsibilities sometimes. We also want to try and make time for friends and family and all of that, but it will be so worth it to fit in some extra sleep. And me personally, I'm going to have to actually do this, get disciplined and do this. So some of the dangers of sleep deprivation. So this might kind of drive it home for you because I was surprised at some of them. You increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. So if you're getting less than 6 hours of quality sleep a night, so that's uninterrupted sleep, you have a 48% greater chance of developing or dying from heart disease and a 15% greater chance of developing or dying from stroke. So that's quite significant. Lack of sleep causes high blood pressure, blocked arteries, kidney disease, and dementia. I found that quite interesting. I didn't know that before. So those are some pretty serious things to think about. Hey, Rodney, how's it going? And another one is, hey, Philippe, another one is obesity. So did you know that lack of sleep is directly tied into obesity? When you're not getting enough sleep, it disrupts the production of two really powerful hormones that control our hunger. So what happens is when you're not getting enough sleep, and you may have noticed this yourself, you feel hungrier, and you might not really know when you feel full. I know myself when I'm really tired, I tend to be thinking about food, or I just feel like I need some food, and it's because these hormones have been disrupted. And it also causes you to feel more stressed, which means that your body's going to produce more cortisol. And what cortisol does is it will actually cause you to crave high carbohydrate foods like junk foods. And it deposits the carbs from those junk foods as fat around your belly, which is one of the worst places to be storing fat. That's the most dangerous place because of all your organs are around there. But that's what happens when you're stressed. Your body produces that cortisol, and that's what cortisol ends up doing. So another thing, too, I didn't realize was that getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night can cause impaired glucose tolerance, which means you could be setting yourself up for type 2 diabetes down the road. So another thing to think about. Compromised immune system, I was aware of that. I know when I'm not getting enough sleep and I'm feeling run down, I normally end up getting a cold or a flu. And that's a real thing. Your immune system becomes compromised when you're not getting enough sleep. Hey, Teresa, how are you? And then, of course, impaired exercise performance. So none of us want that, right? If you're not getting enough sleep, for one thing, you won't have the energy to work out as hard as you could because, you're sleep deprived. And the other thing is that our muscles repair themselves while we're asleep. So if you're not letting your muscles repair themselves properly, and then you're going into the next workout not properly recovered, your performance is going to be affected by that. So those are some pretty eye-opening things. For me, reading that makes me feel more like I want to try to get to bed earlier at night. And, you know, lifestyle changes are never easy, and I'm quite aware of that. This one definitely worth doing, though. So what I would suggest and what I'm going to try doing myself is just getting to bed like even 10 or 15 minutes earlier in the evenings, just to kind of ease into it and get to a point where I'm actually getting closer to 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night. Because honestly, I'm getting anywhere between like 4 and 6 hours a night, and it's not good. I got to get more sleep. So if you are also suffering from sleep deprivation, maybe you want to join me with this challenge of trying to get to bed earlier. If you want to share your progress with me, I would love that. I know for me it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I'm going to work on it for sure. So I got to run. I have a meeting to get to. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.